next session of Seattle by Night, Feast of Shadows, a Vampire 20th Edition game rolled on Roll20. My name is Matthew. I'm the head ST of this game. We have been playing for a couple of months, and we're revising or revisiting the domain and the characters in the Modern Knights of 2016. Why don't we go ahead and start introducing characters and players?
I guess I'll start. I am Axor. My character is Walter Wades, a follower of SET, who's been given permission to dwell within the city of Seattle. He is a former, and I guess still current, business lawyer with deep pockets and black market shipping connections. A real fingers in too many pockets sort of guy.
Who's next?
My name is Francis. I'm a player with this game. My character's name is Theodore Baudreau Hasili. He's Cajun French out of Acadiana, the French-speaking part of Louisiana. He is part of the clan or bloodline Ravnos, which is a dying race in Seattle by Night, Feast of Shadows. His background is that he's a hobo, which is a homeless person who rides the freight trains, who is addicted to and deals psychedelics such as shrooms and peyote and ayahuasca DMT. He deals with various sorts of addictions, and he also has some very deep hands in the drug trade with his connections to the freight trains. He's a rather new character, and I believe this is his third session in. He was given the permission as a Ravnos to stay in the city of Seattle, provided that he gains the favor of several Primogen on the Camarilla Council.
All right, James?
Sorry about that. Yes, I am James, and I am playing Merle Clemens, the caitiff of this little motley bunch. Another good old boy, straight from Louisiana. He's a shovelhead of all things. The only survivor from his old chapter of the Hells Angels, and a fairly recent immigrant to Seattle. He's been there about a year or so, 6 months. And he's basically just been trying to make himself useful and establish a new chapter. The MC here, trying to get his fingers in the drug trade as well. All the while dealing with all those nightmares left by the rather unfortunate circumstances of his embrace.
All right, and the only other player not here presently, and it's on its way. Eric plays the character, the player is Wentz. The character is Eric, who is a newly embraced gangrel, who is a veterinarian, who's been sort of thrusted onto the group by the prince. The entire group have just recently left court and started to investigate a small matter that's been brought to the court's attention by the Kujin, of all people, of an instance of possible human trafficking happening through the city. They have followed some leads, and they have gone to what's known as Harbor Island, near the docks of Seattle, not too far from West Seattle, to investigate the lot that is owned by this particular company. Walter is actually elsewhere, researching on his computer while the rest of the party got into a van and got into Harbor Island in order to investigate the lot. And Dion then decided to get past the gate with some little thaumaturgy and is exploring the lot when one of the crates on the property opens up and a shadow thing jumps at him. Have I missed anything from you guys?
Yeah, Theo turned the van into a truck using Chimera string.
Yes. So until Eric signs on, we're just going to say he's zoning out.
I'm here.
Oh, you're here. Yeah.
Sorry, I have a bout of food poisoning I've been dealing with all the last couple hours.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
Feeling better?
Mostly, I think it's all gone.
Right. Well, health comes first in case you have to drop out.
Yeah, I should be okay, but we'll see what happens. But I am here, so carry on.
We'll make Dexter jokes regardless.
All right. So, the group of you, except for Walter, I do need a roll of initiative. This will be your dexterity plus your wits as a number, and rolled with a d10.
Low-key keep forgetting how to do this.
So at just one d10 plus your dex and your wits combined.
D10, Dex combined.
Yep, that's correct. So Theo.
Okay. Thank you.
Well, I thought initiative was D10 plus your wits.
Dex plus wits.
Dex. Yeah.
Dex plus wits, it's a number plus a d10.
Theo. Rolling low to a little bit in the clouds.
James, are you?
still.
James, okay, there you go. All right,
Low rolling today.
that's all right. It happens. So, order of initiative right now. Dion will start. The attacker goes next. James. Then Eric, and lastly Theo.
Theo's coming down from Mushroom's high, so makes sense.
All right. So you are presently roughly, about 20 feet from it. It has just leaped out of the storage crate, or is leaping towards you. The way that the initiative works in World of Darkness, you are the top person, but everyone at least declares their intended actions. The way that it's sort of written is not great, because you're supposed to spend willpower to change your intended actions if things change, but you start with the lowest person Describe your intended action going up to the top. So the top person will know everyone's intended actions upward. So we'll start with Theo. Briefly, what are you intending to do?
When he sees this shadow monster jump out or shadow figure jump out of that crate, correct?
Yeah, just give a brief description of what you intend to do.
Should have thought about this beforehand. Wow.
You may be in shock and surprise, so you just stand there and watch.
Yeah, stands there and watches. He'd probably be the last person to react to that anyway. So,
what would Eric's intended action be?
Well, at the moment, because we are all in the truck still, minus him, and I was still in shock from the teleporting out of there, I was actually looking out the other way, so I probably wouldn't even notice until after something happened.
All right. What would James' intended action be?
Yep. Burrow is also fairly shocked by that sudden little event.
Just give it three. What would be your intended action?
Yep. He's gonna try to get out of the truck while drawing his shotgun.
Sure. Okay. The creature obviously is lunging at Dion, and so Dion's aware of what everyone's intending to do. What now we'll actually get to actual attack rolls. Dion, you know an attack is coming. Do you want to split dice to dodge, or do you want to do something else? Yes. Mm-hmm. Awesome. What difficulty was that? Yeah. Okay. Are you doing celerity? Celerity actions will happen after. Everyone's go. So you get one action this round physically. Yeah, it's a difficulty 6 normally with Dex plus melee. Correct. All right. The creature did not put any aside for dodge. So why don't you roll damage? A blade normally. Excuse me. A sword is strength plus 2 normally. Is it just like a cane sword? So strength plus 1, and it's difficulty 6. Your power does not reduce that. And then all of that would be considered aggravated, but that burns one of the ritual points that you did on the burning blade. Okay. So is that 2 successes on the? Or is that, yeah. So yeah, strength +1 plus any other additional bonuses you're putting into it at difficulty 6. Your difficulty would not change for that ability because this is just straight up damage. Why is Dex adding to damage? Yeah, it's normally the damage is strength +2. Your Dex wouldn't add into it, or strength +1. I mean, if you have potence, that would add. What page are you looking at? Because I know that's how it works for guns. Where are you reading? Yeah, I'm looking at that page right now on resolution. All right. You cannot botch a damage roll. The same with a soak. You can never dodge those 2 rolls. You can fail them, but you can never botch them. All right. That creature hisses in pain. Does not like that at all. Its action goes next. It is basically, if you want to describe what happens with it, it does still have an arm, though, after your attack. Are you dodging or anything? Correct. 6 normally. All right, well, it's got 2 successes. It is. But you dodge very dexterously out of the way. Yeah, you beat its successes by 4, so you slide out of the way of that attack. James, you are coming out of the truck with your shotgun.
Yes. How far away is this critter?
It is through the gate, but I'm going to say that you have sort of a clear line of sight. You just saw James with this green burning blade slice into it and then dodge out of its strike back at him.
Yeah.
It's about 30 feet from where you are.
Yeah, gonna have to close in there. He's carrying a sawed off, you know.
Well,
Yeah.
you have a gate sort of in your way.
Yeah, so let's go ahead and open up that gate and try to close in.
So, shooting the lock or something?
Yeah, let's go with that for now.
All right. I'm not going to make you roll for shooting a lock. It's pretty much point blank. But we should actually figure out how much damage you're doing. Shotgun. Here are the stats on the shotgun. 6 plus 1 normally. So why don't you do a 7? All right, that's 8. Why don't you do 8 dice, d10 at difficulty 6? All right, yeah, you take the shotgun. It does have a bit of a twang as the lock is busted open, but at least that is suddenly out. You'll still have to kick the gate open next round or whatnot.
Yeah.
But suddenly rising up in front of you, James, is another spirit, another shadowy form that just sort of rises outward from the ground. And it will also be trying to slice at you.
Quick question.
Sure.
When you say spirit, what exactly does it look like?
It looks like a thing made out of shadow, of shade.
A thing made of shade. So does it have like a solid presence?
It has a semi-solid presence. It does have limbs and it doesn't really have a face. James, your action was to shoot the lock. So unless
I was trying to dodge.
did you split dice pool?
No, I didn't think you had to dodge.
Yes, technically you do have to decide to split dice pool. The way that the system works, it is sort of like that. You have to decide if you're dodging and split dice pools for it. So in this case, the creature is the one that's just risen out. Has risen. I don't think you get the dodge roll, unfortunately.
All right.
Sorry about that. But you get to soak. So go ahead and I will first do the damage roll on the creature. Sorry about that. That is 3 successes. So go ahead and roll your stamina plus fortitude. Difficulty set. Oh, that's right. It doesn't. Yeah, it's 2 successes. All right, yeah. So this thing, when it strikes you, Merle, it is cold and it freezes a little bit, but you shrug off and don't take any actual serious damage. Eric, you are seeing this scene before you. Are you staying in the car?
No. I am just trying to look up what one of my things does here. I am going to actually going to use my feral claws. I'm going to spring those out, and I'm going to basically charge the one that just attacked Merle.
All right. So since you're in the car, you can definitely spend a blood point and get out the claws. But I'm going to raise the difficulty for an attacking if you're doing it, like jumping out of the car and getting at him this round.
Okay.
So I'm going to put it at a difficulty of 7 instead of 6. But you can do a Dex plus Brawl to attack the spirit.
Okay. Oof. That is not many dice to roll with. Don't actually think I could hit it even if I tried with the difficulty.
You can still attempt it.
Yeah, I'm going to try, because I only have 3. And these are D10, right?
D10.
It's true. I do prefer to drug them. Oh.
All right, so yeah, you actually do manage to connect because this thing did not split any dice pools. So you can do Police Claws is Strength plus 2, or is that Strength plus 1?
It is Strength plus 1 aggravated damage.
Yeah, so Strength plus 1, please.
No additional, just roll the 3 dice.
Correct. If you have potence, though, that would add to it, but that's it.
Oh, I was probably...
That's still 2 successes.
Yeah, 2.
All right. It does get to soak, so it'll attempt that. Nope, I'm sorry, I forgot that. It doesn't soak that. All right. At this point, we go to celerity actions. Is anyone actually spending blood for celerity?
I would.
All right. So Merle and Dion. Merle, what is your intended action?
I was going to try to level that shotgun up under this thing's chin and pull the trigger.
All right, and I will state that the spirit that is in front of you is also attempting. It will be dodging this round and attacking at Eric.
Ooh.
So it is splitting its dice pool this round.
Go ahead and roll firearms thing here.
Nope, this is just to describe your intended action. So the spirit was intending to both dodge your attack and attack at Eric. Your attempt is to attack it with a shotgun. The spirit that Dion is fighting is intending to attack you. It's full attacking, not splitting dice pool. And Dion, you know everyone's proceeding actions, so you can decide what you want to do. There's two spirits. One attacking Merle and Eric, and the other one attacking you. The other one's 30 feet away from you. Sure. That's probably the smartest thing to do. Yeah, because the one takes away that 10. 2 successes that you got. And remind me, how many successes did you get on the Burning Blade ritual? Yeah, just keep track of that. Make sure that you're burning off those strikes.
You got a lot. I do remember that.
Oh, sorry, what number? All right, that's fine. So the creature doesn't necessarily scream audibly, but it sort of gives out like emotion as if it is in screaming in pain, and then you see it just sort of vanish like ash, like it just the shadows just dissipate in front of you. James, your attack is next.
If I recall right,
And this is a normal 2-shot shotgun.
Yep, so I will be reloading after this.
Yeah, you will only get the second shot, this celerity action. After that, you'll have to reload it before you can shoot again. It may have some residue left, but let's just deal with the
Are
camera.
you kidding me?
That's 2 successes. Yes. So yeah, you go ahead and shoot successfully. It has set aside some dice for dodging, though. So let's see if it can dodge correctly.
Yep.
Technically, it got 1 success. So you can do the 8 dice plus 1, so 9 dice, difficulty 6. All right. Do you want to describe how you destroy it?
Yeah, he just
Actually, I should roll it soak first. I'm sorry.
Oh, all right.
See if it actually survives through this or not, because that's 5 successes it has to soak, and it doesn't. That. No, that is going to be destroying it. So go ahead and describe it.
Yeah, after he kind of raised his eyebrow at that thing's first unsuccessful attack. He just straight up leveled the shotgun under his chin and pulled the second trigger. Watch its. I'm guessing its head explode into shadows, or
yeah, it's
something?
sort of. It doesn't even really get the chance to scream like the other one did, but there's no noise from these things. But it does just sort of like scatter into ash and then start to just disappear.
Guess I got wait until next round to reload, right?
Yeah, but combat is pretty much over.
No thanks to me.
So yeah, you have if you have extra celerity rounds, you can do something, but effectively any danger or threat has suddenly gone away. Go ahead and do a perception plus awareness, and I'm going to put it at 7. So yeah, that means reduced for you. All right, you actually do manage to successfully collect a small rag or something with some black stain on it of where the creature that you were fighting remains, but the rest of it just evaporates. You guys may have alerted the harbor island security with shotgun blasts. But at the moment, nobody is. Since this is literally just a couple of seconds of combat, no one's alerted or running or pulling any alarms yet.
Well, sorry, go ahead.
All right. Yeah, you could actually check out the crate that just opened up where that thing was, or you could check around the actual the ground. There's only a little bit of light from the lights of the harbor island. Where would you investigate first? And what are the rest of you doing? I should ask also.
After I watch Murrow below that thing's head into nothingness, I would look up at him and just say, "Well, this was fun and all, but I think we should get out of here." And I'm gonna head back to the truck.
We still got work needs going. Anyone ask truck backfire? Got it? He's saying as he almost rips the shells out of his shotgun and stuffs them into his jacket. He loads.
I believe that Theo's still in the truck, and he sort of assumed that all these shadow monsters were remnants of his trip, and he's actually somewhat freaking out right now that everybody else is able to see the same thing.
Sorry, who was speaking then? Hey, I know. Is that my first hit?
All right. You are looking into a dark crate. You can activate Auspex if you want to see more clearly. Otherwise, it's completely dark in there. Sure. Go ahead and, even though for investigation's sake, perception plus alertness. And I would say normal difficulty would be 8, but with the Auspex would be instead 6. All right, you're looking around. It's fairly dirty in there, a little bit of scraps. but it doesn't smell very good. But otherwise, you're not seeing anything else. Sure. Yeah, you can do that. You jumping back into the van and leaving? The gate's now been blasted open. Does anyone else want to do an investigation before
Yeah.
security arrives?
I'll give it a shot. What am I rolling?
It's soft light and out on the grounds itself, so it'd be only a perception plus alertness or perception investigation, probably at difficulty 7. If you want to get into the crate itself that was opened, it was a little bit higher difficulty because there's no light source.
Christ, I am rolling for shit today.
All right. Merle, checking around the grounds, these crates some of them have definitely been lifted up and taken out. But you're not seeing a lot of other. Nothing else stands out to you besides the fact that some of the crates have been already shipped out. Not here. You might have better luck getting that with Walter.
Don't forget that Walter did tell you what you're probably going to want to look for here. For lack of a better term, literal shit. Remnants of human living. Food, water, shipping containers that are out of sight of the cameras at the area. Or the space is large enough for a shipping container that is no longer there. Yeah.
Okay. What you're looking specifically for? The crate that's outside of view of cameras or something, or? Well, because you have aspects activated, you actually can vaguely smell urine and feces, but not sure where it's coming from. But as far as the security camera or something that's out of sight of it, that would probably, let's see here, just a second. Could be either security or technology. Wouldn't really put it in streetwise though. We could also do that as investigation. So why don't you do perception plus investigation, and I'm going to put it at difficulty 8. All right, you definitely can see that one of the crates that's no longer here is. You can definitely see the imprint of where the crate was. Is definitely in a no photo zone. Not that you're seeing. As I said, this is not the best smelling. The crate that was opened seemed to have some foul odors in it, but nothing else that you can find clues of people. One last check around, you said? All right. The crate where the spirit or the shadow thing climbed out of. As you go, you're about to head back to your friends. You finally do one check over it, and you manage to find on the open door, which you just weren't looking at that door, is this big smear, sort of, it almost looks like a smear, but it's something written basically in some kind of foul substance, some arcane symbol. And as you're smelling it, it doesn't smell like vitae or blood, but it smells awful. Sure, let's use more power and more blood. All right, that's fine. That's fine. All right, you guys get back into your van and start to head towards the security gate.
Sounds about right.
Yep.
All right, you get back through the person on the security gate station. He sort of gives your van a bit of a look, but he doesn't necessarily say or do much more, and he opens up the gate for you guys to exit.
Very nice.
We're
And you're leaving Harbor Island.
Didn't find anywhere near as much as I hoped. Did we find anything? I'm going to take a wild guess and say this ain't like the usual ship Japanese get up to with the smuggling girls in for pornos. Of course. Of course, it's more complicated.
Why don't we just pause slightly and allow people to describe what's going through their thoughts as they've gone out of this combat scene? Why don't we start with Eric, actually? After what you just witnessed and seen, what's going through his head?
Well, in terms of what he's thinking, it's a mix of looking down at his hands, like, okay, that's the first time I've done that. That was interesting. Looking at, and also, I don't feel comfortable with these people. I've spent less than a night with them, and I'm already being attacked by things that are even more crazy than me being a vampire.
And what about Theo?
Well, for one thing, he didn't participate in any of those actions, even if it lasted just about 15 seconds or less than that. He's practically just observing what they're all talking about, but at the same time, he was in that car, that truck, that van. He turned into a truck, and he was thinking to himself, "I just tripped. Why am I here? You know what? There's some other things that I'd be more interested in." For example, for one thing, I came to Seattle for a sole reason, not to investigate human trafficking, but actually to look for my former mentor. And there's a few other things just about kindred society in the city that I've yet to discover, such as how the Nosferatu know anything about me, because I thought I was an escape artist. And also the fact that there's one other person of my clan that resides in the city, so I'm more interested in finding out something about that person. So, if anything, he's waiting for this to pretty much cool down.
All right. And James?
Burrow is just trying to get his head wrapped a little around what he just saw back there, and he's already dreaming of just what kind of shit these Asian vampires or whatever the hell is living here might be able to throw at them next.
All right. Very good. And Dion? All right. Why don't we shift gears over to Walter then, who is investigating the Blue Line shipping industry?
Yep, sure thing. Walter was investigating the Blue Line Shipping Agency, where they just investigated. But if I recall, Walter has a meeting with Loy, the Nosferatu Primogen, at Harbor North in Georgetown. Very, very
Correct.
soon.
Yeah.
So shortly after delivering them their fake papers, he would probably have split and gone there.
And I apologize. Can you remind me of the meeting that you were having?
He set up 2 meetings at court. He had a meeting at Harbor North in Georgetown at 1 o'clock in the morning tonight.
Yes.
And he has a meeting with Curtis Hunter tomorrow at 10 o'clock to discuss viewpoints on the
and what was the with Loy regarding?
The human trafficking. Loy insinuated at court that he knew something.
He knew something else. Yes, that's right. All right. So yeah, he will be heading out over to that meeting. Are you sending any message to anyone with what you're doing, or keeping this to yourself?
Keeping this to myself. I want to see if this is. I might let the coterie know if it's worth their time, but for now, he's keeping this to himself.
Understandable. All right. You are heading over to that late night bar.
Yes. I thought the meeting with Curtis was at a late night bar, and the meeting with Loy was at a harbor.
Yeah, he's getting you to Pioneer Square near the docks is where he's meeting you.
Okay.
Which you are aware, Pioneer Square, beneath it is where the Nosferatu Warren is. You've just not actually seen it yourself. You just know it's near that area.
Hopefully I never have to.
Pioneer Square, of course, is one of the older districts of Seattle, has some of the iconic buildings that were built in the 1900s that still survived the Seattle fires and stuff like that. But it's got some newer buildings as well. It is near also the docks area, the ferry terminal. And I think the ferry terminal is actually where Loy wanted to at least meet you initially. He told you he would find you.
Yes. As one does.
All right. Showing up at the ferry terminal, you are a little bit taken aback that the place is fairly brightly lit. Which isn't the most favorable for you.
No, not at all. It hurts.
Does have the main terminal where people buy their tickets and stuff like that, and even this late night, there is somebody there. There is one restaurant / bar that's still open, but the other 3 food businesses like Subway and the coffee shop and the gift shop were all closed. But yeah, you are immediately probably putting on your sunglasses, sort of trying to find somewhere to sit that's not quite in the garish light of this terminal.
Wow, look at Walter, sunglasses at night.
Oh, gee.
I actually have a miniature experiment Walter would like to perform.
Sure.
He is curious if he can discover something about Loy. So as he's sitting around and waiting, can I activate my Obfuscate 1, which does not require blood expenditure, just simply fade from view. Anyone with Auspex 1 will immediately be able to see me as normal, but without it, it's just a little bit of hard to see.
Yeah. Is there a roll for that one?
I do not believe so. It's as long as I'm motionless, and don't speak, I am effectively unnoticed. I'm checking it now.
Sure, I'm pulling it up also.
I just had my rulebook open to thaumaturgy because I was
No
curious.
rolls required as long as the creature spell fills materials. As long as it's quiet and motionless, virtually no one other than Kindred with high enough Auspex rating will see him. Alright, so you find... I mean, there is one area of the terminal near the machines, the vending machines, that isn't that bad. You could even obfuscate into the bathrooms if you really wanted to try that. But you can hang out near the machines with it where there's a little bit less light, so not as glaring for you.
Yeah. He'd want to find somewhere shadowy anyway, so using obfuscate to just stay unnoticed is perfect. He's just curious if he can discover whether Loy has Auspex or not.
Just 1 second here.
Might be useful information later.
No, I get why you're doing it. It makes perfect sense. I just want to double check your clan weakness.
2 times damage, and bright light is irritating, I believe.
Yeah, you don't lose... I'm not going to say you lose light, or the lights. If you were in a spotlight, you'd be losing dice pools, but for this light, it's just a little annoying for you. So yeah, when you start to meld into the shadows and start to watch, you're not seeing many people at the ferry terminal at this time of night, but ferries do go pretty late. Mostly they to 2 different locations from this ferry terminal. And then the Bremerton ferry is starting to get is heading this way, but it hasn't docked quite yet. But that is one of the late night ferries that's pretty often traveled. You wait about 5 minutes, and you will see a person walk in, sort of tall and lanky, who's dressed like a punk in a denim jacket, a couple of studs in it, and that person is sort of wandering and looking around. You're starting to think maybe that's Loy in disguise.
Then Walter will stand up from his or lean off of his perch against the machines and approach.
Alright, yeah. Once you start to let the obfuscate fade and you come out, he sort of looks up, slightly surprised, like, hey, there you are, kind of thing. I was worried I was going to be waiting for you.
No,
You recognize the voice, it's definitely Loy.
Yes. I figured, but best to be certain. No, I'm here as arranged. You have some information for me, right, Loy?
Some information, yeah, but it's not exactly just something I'm giving out.
Of course not.
You understand? Would you
No,
to go somewhere more quiet, perhaps less light for you?
how considerate of you. Did you have somewhere in mind?
We can just go outside onto the dock here, or a little bit further up. I know a quiet area.
I think the dock is fine. It's closer.
All right. Loy starts to walk out of the ferry terminal. You do go down a series of steps to go onto the main strip of the dock area. The dock area is actually a pretty popular site, especially earlier in the evening for tourists. A number of different shops and restaurants along the waterfront, gift shops and the like, candy. The Ivers, fish and chips are very popular on the docks. But at this time of night, it's mostly transients and a few drunk people. It's not very many people wandering at this time of the evening. Most of the shops have closed up and the like. And most people have gone back to the main city. But Loy finds one of the areas behind one of the shops along the dock and walks over through it. He's walking at a casual pace and not making any real chit chat, but once you guys are pretty much out of earshot of anyone walking around, he will turn to you. Say, very well, this should be private enough.
Looks to be. What kind of information are you selling here, and what sort of thing will it cost me?
Well,
Right to the chase.
yes. Let's cut right to the chase. I have some information on the companies and the information regarding the human trafficking. I don't have all the details you may want, but I have some idea of how long it's been going on and who is involved.
Ah.
As for
Who,
a price, I'm not really very much interested in money, but, favors are always useful. Other information, perhaps a task that I could give you, like with a certain risk factor, we could figure something out.
perhaps an item.
An item.
Acquisition. Those are my speciality.
That could be useful too. What kind of things can you acquire?
What kind of things do you need?
Loy actually gives a small little chuckle and says, well, always useful to have somebody with the right connections in the city. Somebody who can change some zoning laws, perhaps?
How so?
Don't you have some pull and sway in that department?
Yes.
I am certain that there's some way of perhaps affecting the tunnel zoning, giving some permissions perhaps later on down the line to expand the tunnel into a different area. If you could pull some strings to get that approved faster, that would be acceptable price for the information.
That sounds agreeable.
I can send you the details of the areas that we need some expediting on permits later.
Of course, I'll produce a business card and hand it to him.
All right. So Loy says that still may also require a favor, a boon along with it, but I think that's an acceptable thing. If you don't mind, I'll contact the Harpies later to let them know that you owe me a minor boon.
Minor.
Yes.
Sure.
Favor. No one else needs to know the particulars of why. The Harpies will take care of it. Is this acceptable to you?
Of course.
Just pause for a moment and give me your descriptions of what's going through your inner monologue right now.
Walter is intrigued. He already knows a lot of the details about the specific shipping company, but he doesn't know a lot about who's behind it, which Loy has insinuated he does. He's not sure whether Loy is being tricksy and referring to the mortals involved with the shipping company or any immortals behind the shipping company. And he's curious whether the information is worth the price he's paying, as potentially expanding the Nosferatu Warrens and, by extension, Loy's domain, and a minor boon seems to be extremely beneficial to Loy. So he's debating whether the information, or he is pondering whether the information he is about to receive is of an equal usefulness to him.
Understandable. All right. So Loy sort of just gestures, All right. So who is that dinging?
That's me. I just silenced my phone. I'm getting blown up by somebody drunk, and it's irritating.
It happens. Okay. Loy basically says, so, from what I hear and have gathered from some of my friends and the information about this, it's been actually happening for a couple of months now. It started off with about a few small number, maybe 3 or 4 at once. But it's starting to get larger numbers of people that have been shipped into the city. And from what I'm hearing, if the rumors are true, every one of these is being shipped by this Blue Line group to a location somewhere on the east side. Most of the signs point to Issaquah. Last I heard, not that I go there very often, the one of the anarchs that controls that area was a man by the name of Clay Nax.
Clay Nax. Alright.
I usually only deal with Bertram if I have to deal with the anarchs themselves. I usually try not to talk to them too often. If you'd like to try to talk to Bertram, see if he knows anything more about this human trafficking. But as I said, from what we know, it started off with small numbers, 3, 4. I believe the most recent shipment was 12.
So just from my notes, Blue Line Shipping has been doing this for a few months to an area in Issaquah, to an anarch named Clay Knox.
Nax. N-A-X.
Okay, and he is recommending that I talk to...
He knows one of the other barons. Barons is similar to a prince for the Anarchs, but it's not quite the same thing. He's more on good terms with Bertram than the other barons, but he could try to arrange a meeting to speak to Bertram. He knows more about the human trafficking situation and the other baron, Claynax.
Loy is offering to arrange a meeting.
He could arrange that meeting if that's something you're interested in, but it could be risky going to the east side and meeting with the Anarch.
Walter will respond that he's not sure that's necessary at the moment.
All right. Then discretion is advised, but he has given you the information. Is everything still acceptable?
Let me think for just a second.
Go right ahead.
You have heard no whispers, no rumors of the purpose of this shipping of humans?
I could speculate, but as far as actual rumors, I haven't heard of any dead bodies showing up. I haven't heard what happens to them after they reach the east side. But I can tell you that Claynax and his group are some of the most violent anarchs that we know of. You could also talk to Amanda. She knows a few things about the other anarchs on the east side. She has fought them a couple of times, after all.
But of course. The details of our arrangement. You wished an expansion of your tunnels, or an expedited approval for expansion of your tunnels, and a minor boon.
A minor boon and a couple of different places where zoning laws may need to be expedited, yes. It shouldn't take somebody with your connections that long to do. I will just keep tabs on how long it takes. That's all.
That seems acceptable, given the information you've given me. I thank you for your time, Loy. I know you're a very busy man.
Give regards to your sire for me.
Of course. And perhaps this can be the start of a very useful and beneficial friendship.
Of course, the Clan Nosferatu was always useful and beneficial.
But of course, and I hope that I can be as useful and as beneficial to you, Loy.
If there is nothing else, I intend to go for a little hunt before the night expires.
Of course. I would never stand between a man and his meal, but do let me know if anything else you need could require my particular skills. Would you?
Of course. Thank you again. And with that, Loy will head out.
All right. That was very useful and informative.
Right. Why don't we go and switch back to the other crew? Players, if you're all there, where are you intending to go? Back to Georgetown or anywhere else?
We'll swing by, drop you off there then.
All right. So driving over to University District. All right. How close are you getting to the Chantry? Half a mile. Just you can just be dropped on University Way and walk the rest of the way there if that's what you want. All right. Premiere in our secrecy. Yeah, you go ahead. You guys drive. The illusion will fade away, of course, at that point. Into the city, into middle of University District. Even at 1 a.m., there are college kids wandering around University Ave.
True.
It's got a number of different businesses, a few bars, not too many, but there's like late night taco places and Chinese places. Lots of food on the cheap for starving college students. So even at 1 a.m. like it is, there's still people wandering around. And you'll drop Dion off, and he will wander off on the street. So what rest of you guys going back to Georgetown or splitting up at this point?
Really not again. I mean, Merle head back to Georgetown unless Thea wants to be dropped off somewhere else.
Quick question. Do we have some sort of, like, blood sustenance at our domain?
I mean, we usually have the hang-around girls, but I think at this hour, they probably all be gone or passed out.
Damn. Yeah, might have to seduce some young college girl then.
All right, let's swing by a college bar then.
Here we go.
Oh boy.
Play rubs hands together.
Should invite Walter.
We should. Back, let's call him up.
Alright, fuck it.
Sure thing.
Hey, just putting it out there. Neither of you has presents.
Actually, I do.
Oh, right. That's right.
Yeah.
I always forget you have access to anything you want.
I have some natural skill.
I don't want
And
presents.
Theo
I don't
is
want
Theo.
people to see me.
But yeah, he's still trying to call Walter right now as he pick up.
Walter was in the middle of sending out a group text and picks up the phone instead.
Hey, Walter, we're about to go head up the rack before we turn in for the night. You want in?
Sure. Feeling a bit peckish. You feeling a bit better?
Yeah, well, a little bit. Still seeing little things out of the corner of my eye, but nothing too bad.
Of course. Where do you want to meet?
I suppose we could go ahead and meet at Callahan's or wherever you want to get picked up.
Well, I have my car, so I can go wherever you need to.
All right. Go ahead and meet on that little friggin' sports bar up by University, then.
Sure
Sports
thing.
bar.
Hey,
Sports bar.
He said
Yeah.
college.
oh, college bar, then.
Wait, that's what a sports bar would be out in that area.
The college kids don't kick it at sports bars, though.
You might be surprised.
Out here they do, but I guess I live in like a real college city, so
I go to college myself. I've never heard of a single person say, hey, let's go kick it at a sports bar.
I mean, for college kids, I would think, they would drink anywhere that's convenient,
Pretty much, yes.
Try not to talk about football, but whatever, I guess.
In my experience with college towns, there's a bar like every 20, 30 feet, and it's always full.
Cool, yeah, so we don't have to go to a sports bar.
What? You friggin' pick, then, Theo.
Let's see. Let's go somewhere nice. Feeling some sort of middle class girl, yeah. I just fed off a prostitute or something along those lines, so yeah. I want someone a bit cleaner and probably didn't have methamphetamine in their blood.
Yeah, that'll work. Just try to keep it somewhere without friggin' house base.
Can't make any promises, but sure.
Where are you guys trying to head to?
A bar.
Some sort of like middle class type bar. Not a dive bar, but not a swanky bar either, I guess. But wherever there are like college age girls. Yeah.
Well, you're on University Ave. You just dropped off Dion. So you're near the university itself. There's
while we're here,
Irish pub.
Sorry, go ahead.
There's an Irish pub there. There's one of the Asian bars. There's otherwise a normal one that's sort of darkly lit, perfect for Walter. There's like two others if you go further down the strip.
No. Let's go to the normal one. I like that one.
The Asian bar. Nope, that seemed just a little
By bar, I mean it's a restaurant.
What am I thinking of?
It's a restaurant popular with the Chinese students. And it's got a lot of those pop Japanese art performance,
K-pop, J-pop, whatever.
posters around the place and things like that. But they do all primarily beer, but you can get other things there too.
Theo expresses, we just got out of a pretty tough situation involving the Asians, so that kind of leaves a bad taste in my mouth, if you know what I mean.
I was going to say, not an auspicious sign, but I would say a sign nonetheless, but let's not push our luck.
Like that dimly lit bar,
Dimly
Everyone
lit bar
just seems to look better without the sunlight or without bright light altogether.
All right, sure.
Oh, while you're there, Theo, you mind? Sorry, go ahead. Sorry, I thought you were done.
Who's that in the background, by the way?
That's my girlfriend. I can't really.
No, that's okay. Just slightly distracting.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry. All right, fixed. Which bar did they elect to go to?
I don't really recall the name off the top of my head, but it's on University Ave, and it's a casual bar. Sorry, I'm looking at it right now. 15.
Probably got some generic name like Tim's.
It's your dynasties.
It's Earl's on the Ave.
Earl's on the Ave. Just like back to the grind.
Earl's on the Ave.
Yeah. Sounds like some middle class artsy women over there.
Yep.
You guys definitely arrive before Walter does.
Shall we hit the rack then, my Cajun friend?
We certainly can, you wasp.
All right, you paper scum. Let's get to work.
All right, Irishman. And then Theo claps his hands together and then rubs them, representing that he's excited.
Oh, I thought he was going to do some sort of Mr. Miyagi type voodoo magic.
That's racist.
All right. Why don't we shift gears slightly? Go over to Dion. You are leaving your friends behind, of course, as they're going out for the quest for somebody to feed from. And return over to the Chantry. You pass by maybe a couple of college students. Most people are either making their way back to their dorms or various different frat houses, or there might be a few transients, but otherwise it's pretty quiet. You have the herd background, correct? You could say that some of you've got. I'm looking it up right now.
I have 2 dots of domain, but I have not. I don't have any. None of that is from pooled, I believe. That's just my own personal dots. If we were to pool together, I don't know how many dots total we would have. But to our pooled domain, I am contributing 2.
Yeah, I just have 1 myself.
Likewise.
Yeah, and this is a different location, but you have about 7 people that would be in your herd. DM, are you
I need to
intending
get me some herd.
to find somebody? All right. If you want to do a quick hunt, yeah, that's going to take you a little bit of time to find a person. Are you doing the seductive route, or are you doing just trying to find somebody subterfuge-wise, or what attempt are you making? Yeah, well, you can do a wits plus streetwise to plus your herd, and I'm going to put it at difficulty 7.
Damn, boy.
So yeah, one of your herd is actually up and awake, cramming for a test perhaps, and says, "Oh yeah, I'll be right over. Where do you need me?" Maybe. But with 6 successes, sure. They've got a friend if that's something you want. If you insist, with 6 successes, that's pretty good. So they are putting in your hands. And how much blood are you gathering? If you take 3 blood points from most people, they'll be woozy, but they will still be awake and aware. They may sleep easier or whatnot. 4 blood points, they become only people with really good staminas are going to still be standing. Most people are going to fall over at that point. If you start taking 5 blood points, they probably are going to need medical attention. There's the rare human that might still be awake at that with stamina 5, but most people aren't going to live with half their blood pool taken. And around, if you take 6, then you need to get them a blood transfusion right away or they're going to start dying. All right, sounds good. You leave them happy. They will be blissed in the kiss.
Blessed in the kiss.
And they're not really resisting with that roll. And I don't need kind of conscience rolls or anything like that for something like that. Awesome. All right, so you're feeding. So the rest of the group? And by the way, is Walter heading over to that bar, or are you doing something else?
No, Walter's going to the Earls on the Ave. He'll just have to arrive a little later since he was over by the docks.
Sure. So why don't we start with Eric, James, and Theo, or is Eric still there with you, right?
I'm with them, yes.
All right. So if you show up at the bar, it's not just college students here, but and it's not packed at this time. There's actually like 3 or 4 empty booths / tables, but it's still a bar. It's still a little bit active from the patrons that are still here. What you guys doing?
Just to check. Earls on the Ave is not within the domain / hunting grounds of any other vampires, is it?
It might be.
Oh shit. Didn't even consider that.
We literally just had a thing at court. Or in the Ventru eating things.
Well, yeah. Just reminded us.
You are in the University District, so you don't know. You probably don't know who the hunting ground is here.
Probably some sort of Tremere.
Yep.
And we're probably not welcome here.
Does anybody tell this to Theo?
Me personally and Walter, neither of us feel comfortable hunting in an area we're not certain belongs to us.
Yeah, Merle, he'll probably hit Merle a second later and he just gets a visible fuck expression on his face.
Right. Theo notices that and he's like, what's the matter? Not really your taste?
No, just got a little caught up in the moment. I forgot for a moment they're saying L.A.
Say again?
Got a little caught up in the moment back there. I forgot for a sec it wasn't L.A.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's understandable. Well, that is pretty young, right?
Maybe want to get a beer. Want to at least get a beer while we're here.
Trying to get at some girls, aren't they?
I mean, if he ain't feeding on them, then shit, I don't see what the issue would be.
Wait. What are you implying?
Well, the hunting ground rules.
I want to just be known I'm visibly behind you, just rolling my eyes.
The rules for the hunting grounds in regards to feeding. If we were just looking for a little entertainment, then wouldn't be any issue, now would there?
Okay, so Theo feels like an idiot, but then again, this is he's still trying to understand. Or the rules are coming back to him about being in a Camarilla city, and he's like, "God damn it, this isn't the case out in the sticks." And yes, he takes a second to realize, and he's like, "Oh, fuck, right. Well, yeah, no, okay, yeah, we got a little bit of an issue here."
Yeah. Hang on, like I said, as long as we ain't feeding on them here, then probably ain't gonna be too much of an issue. If we were to, say, pick up a couple party favors here, take them on a little bar hopping, and say swing by Callahan's for the nightcap.
Yeah, start at Earl's, move to Kate's, go to the Kraken Lounge, move our way up to Callahan's. I have the map pulled up with all the bars in the area, so.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Scared me there for a second. I didn't want to feed it some biker at Callahan's.
Yeah, not gonna lie, the hang-around girls are probably, you could probably get your fix there, but I wouldn't be my first choice.
Yeah, no, try not to get high on meth again, you know what I mean? It's not really a thing.
I think they're a little more fond of the arm candy over there.
Yeah, I'm a man of particular taste at the moment, if you know.
Yeah, I think you're gonna have to go to the res to beat that taste.
I mean, like, we can take one back with us now, can't we?
Yeah, like I said, we're just here for a little entertainment, and if a couple party favors feel like following us out, ain't on us.
My boy.
All right. Well, one of the waitresses just comes forward to the group of you, like, "You boys looking for a drink?"
Shot in the brew, man. Keep them coming.
Shot in the brew. Anything else?
Yeah, give me a gin and rye, please.
John Rye. And she looks to Eric. You anything?
I'll take the brew also.
All right. Coming right up, gentlemen. She is wearing a somewhat tight skirt, but average looking otherwise. But yeah, she heads out to the bar.
Yeah, I can't really take her home.
Yeah,
can't I? So Theo scans around the room and, just trying to scope out his opportunities right here.
Sure.
We're always doing the same.
Do we got some girl wearing some type of, say, 1970s band shirt and a beret?
Not quite that stereotypical. But
they exist.
Here,
as I said, this is sort of a college area. It's most of the people here, not everyone, but most of them seem to be that kind. If you would like to try to find somebody that's amicable to what you're looking for, we can actually do dice rolls.
Sure, let's try that.
If you're trying to do the seductive route, we can do like an appearance plus subterfuge.
Appearance and subterfuge. Okay, let's see here. Cool. Alright. D10, right?
I'll get
D10.
that as well.
I will set this at a 7.
I think I did this right. Did I do that right?
Yes.
Okay.
But you have more dice than that.
Oh. I have more dice than that. Oh, okay. How many am I rolling?
I see you have 5.
Okay. Gotcha. Did I do that right?
Yeah, that's correct.
Cool.
We're going to dip 7?
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So we're rolling appearance / subterfuge.
He's trying the sexy, hey, I'm friendly, I'm a good guy, and trying to find a person to respond that way. which he's managed to found Veronica. And she's 20, and she's going to pre-med. And she starts talking to Theo, and she finds him funny and amusing and wants to talk more with him. She likes the way you talk. And she is a little tipsy.
Clearly. Wow. So he says pre-med, right?
Yes.
Pre-med. Yeah, I imagine he must be a compassionate individual. That's something I highly value.
I love children.
Oh, children. Yeah. Really,
I want to be a pediatrician because everyone loves pediatricians.
I certainly do. Children, they're like bright lamps within our soul, the future of our generation, the future of the world.
They are our future. You're right.
I'm really glad that we got special people such as you who are looking out for the future of such people. And wow, you're really starting to strike me.
Veronica will smile happily. You guys are just watching this going on. Is anyone trying to do anything, get their own girl for the night, or just let Theo do this on his own?
Yeah, Theo. Merle's giving Theo a good thumbs up and a grin before he starts his own little hunt here. Hopefully find some punk girls with daddy issues.
And Theo's thinking like too much of those girls back in Acadiana.
And the difficulty, or am I bumping it up?
You're trying. Are you also trying to do the seductive route?
Yes, indeed.
Are you using presence or just your own charms?
I was got to use my own charms, but I think you can use the 2 presence dots in there too.
You could use the gifts of Cain to enhance what you're capable of.
Yeah, let's go with that.
But if you want to do it just with a straight roll first, that's fine too. Because awe will give you at least attention, but you can't always select who gets attracted to you with awe.
Yeah, let's keep it selective then.
So yeah, if you're trying to use your good looks of 2 and your subterfuge, so 5 dice difficulty 7, you sort of stand out as an outlaw, though. I want more than 1 success for you to find somebody.
There we go.
Yeah, boy.
All right, there is one girl. She's got a couple of tattoos, and she looks like she's got a bit of a wilder side to her than most of the patrons here. And she also looks like she's had at least 3 beers. Who sort of looks at Merle, at least interested in talking. How old does Merle look again?
Mid to late 30s.
All right, so you might be, 10 years her senior, but she's at least interested in talking with you.
Yeah, he'll smile, take a good pull on his beer, and go ahead and sidle up.
All right. So you at least are meeting with this woman, and her name is name.
Cheyenne.
No.
Mary Sue.
I already said, but should die.
Sheila.
Jesse.
Jesse.
Just do trash white girl names. I'll just give you the name of every ex I have.
Tammy wins.
I already said Sheila.
Tammy wins.
Sheila.
And is Eric just staying at the bar?
I'm kind of just doing my own thing, kind of scanning around, keeping to my own.
On the hunt.
Mm-hmm. I'm not saying anything.
All right. So yeah, the drinks are served to you by the waitress. Yeah. So both of you have at least got somebody interested in Theo and Merle, or at least in conversation. Veronica, of course, is very, very flirty and tipsy.
Very nice. So, oh, looking good. Okay, so Theo kind of leans into her, and like this is, and if any of you have picked up by now, this is his modus operandi, and he kind of whispers to her, "You want to glow, baby? We can glow."
She looks.
Does he use that line on everybody?
Pretty much. That's his pickup line.
She actually looks at you like, "What are you talking about?"
Well, see, the thing is, I sense something about you. It resonates. You know, it's like your skin is glowing. You know, and I feel like I'm sorry, but I feel like just one night between us, it'll just glow even brighter than the future that you have ahead of you.
Oh, fucking Theo.
So you're trying to do full seduction?
100%.
So Veronica is a little tipsy, but I'd still like a roll for this.
Shit.
Oh, please pass, please. Please, for the love of God, let him pass.
If he fails this, he's like leaving Seattle. Anyways, what do you want me to roll?
I could allow you to do charisma, but it really is more of a manipulation.
Can we go with charisma?
Yeah, but I might need more than one success. So, charisma and subterfuge, difficulty 7 to convince her.
Okay, let's check this out. 7. How many do I roll?
You have 6 dice in that pool.
Gotcha. Oh, your boy.
I think you may have it set to the opposite.
Oh.
It looks like all 1, 2.
Have you been?
Yeah.
I have a tendency to do that. Wait, what?
Yeah. No, that's fine. The first roll you have. What's your charisma specialty?
Charisma is. Let me check.
Yeah, I don't have the PDF version in front of me.
Yeah, that's right. Charisma specialty is smooth talker.
I'm sorry, what was it?
It's smooth talker.
So technically, that would apply. So yeah, without many successes, Veronica wants to take you back to her dorm.
Right. She says that to him, right?
Yeah. She can take you to where she's at, and the two of you can glow together.
All right.
Beautiful.
Yes, with our souls as a bright lamp, we really have to spread this lightness around us, don't you think? I know a couple of other places in the city, and some place you'll absolutely enjoy.
Well, why don't we just go back to my room?
Yeah, the thing is, the issue with that is that with your room, it's in a dormitory, right? So there'll be people
no
around
one
us.
Here. It'll be fine.
It'll be fine.
Myself.
I love the voice he's using. I love it.
Oh God, I got to think about this for a second, honestly. Yeah. Okay,
Veronica is
so
a friendly boy.
right. So Theo says there. I understand that that's something that you're more comfortable with, but the thing is, as you can see with the clothes that I'm wearing, this is my last night in Seattle, and I really just want to see the city just a bit more just before I go, and I really want to see it with you.
Well, she's tipsy. She's not to driving. She doesn't really want to leave U District because she's got school tomorrow.
She's getting school tomorrow. Let's see. Why is she drinking then? Okay. Here, I know something that'll make you a bit more comfortable.
Ooh, no. I'll leave it alone.
Just tell her your big brother there will have somebody drive her back.
No. He says, I could take their baby. I promise that you'll make it back. Just trust me. Everything will be fine.
You want some assistance?
Want to know where you're trying to take her to?
Exactly.
Yeah, she wants to know where you want to go.
Okay. Well, first, what we can do is that we can just stroll at midnight just down the streets of University, and there's this hot spot further down south. And where exactly is University at now? Let me ask.
On the map,
Mm-hmm.
University is on the northern side, so it's over here.
Cool. And how far exactly is that away from Georgetown?
Georgetown
Is in
is over
bottom.
here.
Yeah, I know that, but like time estimate maybe.
That time-wise by car, that's like a 20-minute drive.
That 20-minute drive.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bad.
Maybe less if you know the right streets, but basically 20 minutes.
But a 20-minute drive, right? Okay, so he says it's a spot further into the city. I know it has quite a bit of a history. And we're both still very young. It's very important. I believe it's very important for us to get back in touch with the spirit of our people, just as you are, supporting the younger generations. It's just really just the beauty of humanity.
I want to chime in and just help you out here.
I mean,
No, I'm actually going to help him. I actually have a way of helping him. Legitimate. Without ripping out someone's throat.
Oh, I can't wait for Merle to do his pitch.
Is Eric doing anything or just
Yeah,
watching?
since I'm still near, I'm just gonna excuse me if I could chime in for my friend here. You were talking about school tomorrow. You're worried. What's the name of your professor? I'll give him a call. I'm very well connected with the teachers around here. I'll make sure any work you miss that he will not give you any discredit for.
All right.
And I'm saying that because my specialty is in academics is teaching.
Very good.
And I'll pull out my card and show her that I teach at one of the local universities and this and that, and just play the spiel, like, hey, go with my friend, have a good time, I'll take care of it.
Why don't you give me a charisma plus subterfuge difficulty at full 5, and you should have a pool of 4 for that.
Mm-hmm. Just D10s?
D10s, yes. The entire system is always D10s.
Difficulty of
5.
Oh, gross.
So not a botch, but technically considered a failure. So yeah, when you intrude, and even though you've got these credentials, and she doesn't know you from anyone else, and she doesn't seem to think that's. She's still sort of hesitant this whole entire idea of leaving your district. And if Thea's not willing to come back to her dorm, she's not sure she wants to go off with you guys. We'll switch to Merle.
What's his date like? I wonder.
Sheila seems like she's not really a college girl. She's a little bit. She seems like she's a little bit down on her luck barista. That's just, this is her night off. She doesn't have to work for 2 days, so she's getting a little bit of a drink before she heads back to where she lives.
The drudgery of menial labor. I know it well.
Yeah. And Sheila doesn't seem like she's so much into you as she's more curious about you.
Use that southern charm, boy.
That's the plan. Well, if your freedom is a bit limited, why don't we live it up while we can, Miss Sheila? I got a place. Matter of fact, I got a place down in Georgetown. If we want to take this show on the road.
Oh, Georgetown?
Yep. Place of my own.
Oh. So you just scoping out competition or something?
Maybe a little bit. Seeing what kind of talent is around. Talent is hanging around these parts.
Talent? What do you mean? She sips from her beer.
Yeah, poor choice of words there. Suppose company. Better choice of words there. This is what I get. This is what I get for trying to role play while drinking.
Why don't you go ahead and do a roll then? We'll just make that simple.
Appearance subterfuge, or
you are trying to be seductive, so it would be appropriate for appearance, but you could also argue your manipulation or charisma, which I believe are the same. So yes, die pool of 6. You're trying to bring her back with you guys to Georgetown. We're going to put the difficulty because she's at least curious about you at 6.
All right, there we go.
All right. Yeah. She doesn't know how late she's going to be up or whatnot, but she's not heading to bed yet. So yeah, she'll come with you guys to Georgetown.
Outstanding. Trust me, it'll be a hell of a time. They got a good ship down there, and hell, you proved to be interesting company. I might just whip up some of that Huma medicine tea. Really brings the tribe together.
Okay. Interesting. Walter would show up around this time.
Indeed, he would. Walter's got a really nice sports car. Like, really nice. I haven't decided what exactly it is yet. It's probably a 69 Cobra.
Cobra. Cobra for
I like him. He probably draws a little bit of attention, driving around in something a little fancy. Pulls up outside the bar, walks on in.
And it is
he's got that whole
a much better environment for your particular clan. It's not quite
it's
light and garish in here.
Yeah, he's got that whole kind of salt and pepper thing going on. Not a young man anymore. He probably looks like a professor in this to this crowd. And he's going to wander over to the bar and take a look around, see what he sees. He's definitely not looking for young college girls, that's for sure.
All right. Well, you see, of course, your friends. It sounds like they're in a mix of success and failures. Are you trying to do your own hunt here in the bar?
Yeah, I want to be here to assist anybody else if they perhaps need help finding somebody. But he's going to look for somebody who looks, who studies in a bar, but like somebody who looks like they should be studying. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You're at least been told, though, you at least have listened to enough conversations at the court. You know this area is Tremere owned, the University Ave.
This bar definitely falls in their domain.
You know that.
And they're not gonna be happy we're here. Even if we pull them back to our domain. That's still poaching.
You would think that would be bad form to pull them out of the domain, but definitely don't feed on them here.
Yeah. Does it look like my friends to Walter are having any success?
When you look at when you look over at Theo, who you don't really know very well, or Eric, who you don't know very
I'm just kind of sitting there.
Yeah. Eric's just sort of sitting there, but Theo is flirting with this sort of drunk girl. Definitely looks like she's a couple of drinks in. But Merle seems like he's got some girl in trance with him.
Okay. He probably won't stop them, but he will sort of pop out a group text to everyone but Theo. Theo have a phone.
They don't have a phone, yes.
Does he have a phone?
He has an Obama phone, yes. It's a shitty Android, but it has basic functionality. Probably with a cracked screen, too.
Then he's going to send out a message to everybody, just basically saying, like, reminder, this is Tremere territory, don't eat here.
Theo doesn't check his phone.
I look at it, and you could see that I have a slight chuckle.
Merle briefly looks at it, and he gives a short nod.
In my head, I'm like, who's looking for food?
Theo's really just like going in with this girl, and he's like not taking any distractions right now.
It's at that point that Walter realizes he forgot to remove Dion from the group message. You didn't see anything. To be Walter would have responded, "These aren't the texts you're looking for. Move along."
So wait.
The basic gist of this is that Walter is reminding everybody not to eat here if they are going to eat here, and then he's going to go probably look somewhere else just to be safe.
Merle will text back, "Not a worry, we're taking him back. We're taking him back to Callahan's."
Wait, so Matthew?
Yeah, I'm gonna.
Or is Theo and this pre-med girl Veronica done, or?
Veronica still reluctant to leave the U district, but she likes you.
She likes me.
She's trying to convince you, or at least she's trying to stay close to where she lives. But you can try again on convincing her to leave.
I think let's get this girl a few more drinks.
I'm gonna just throw it out there. I'm gonna drop 40 on the bar counter, and I'm actually gonna go up to Walter. I'm gonna be known that I'm gonna join him for some light activity / talking.
Sure.
Okay.
That way I'm with somebody else.
Okay. The gang girl and the Ravenous are getting along. Awesome.
I didn't say getting along. Me and him, I just wanted to get out of there.
You get away from the Ravenous.
Yeah,
The crunchy Ravenous.
Me and Walter still have to talk about business arrangements.
Yeah. Got to get that horse tranquilizer from somewhere, right?
All right, where are the two of you heading to?
We're sitting at the actual
bars?
bar. Well, yeah. Walter was going to basically drive to the bar that they had suggested, realize it was in Tremere territory, make sure they were there, and then he, reminded them not to eat here, and then he was going to go somewhere else, somewhere not in Tremere territory, to eat, because he doesn't want that risk. He's got common sense, So if Eric's going up to Walter was just about to leave.
Yep, I'm gonna come up and just say, if you don't mind, it looks like you're leaving. Care if I join you?
Of course not. I was about to go find a bite to eat.
Yeah, I could use a bite, per se.
Oh,
course,
God,
of course.
please don't be the South Park vampires.
No, I just like that particular turn of phrase because it's kind of punny in this setting.
Just don't use it after every sentence.
Thank you very much. No,
you guys do know, Walter would know of one rack on Capitol Hill. Club Q.
Isn't that, what's his face's?
Well, across the street from Club Q is the Club Neighbors, which is owned by Roman. But Gabriel White owns the rack that's across the street from it.
Yes, I met him. He's in my list somewhere. I'm trying to find him.
Gabriel White
Gabriel Share? No. Yeah, he owns one of those popular racks in Capitol Hill. I have him listed as Gabriel Share, not Gabriel White, S-H-A-E.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Gabriel Share, sorry. So many names.
His club is essentially open ground. He doesn't mind if people take from it.
It is basically open ground. He usually is there, and being the host, but no, he does not. He is pretty much made that open ground.
All right, I'll suggest we go there then.
Yeah.
Sorry, continue. It is.
All right, why don't we go back to Theo? Theo, are you trying to convince Veronica?
Yeah, he just wants to secure that we're all going back to Callahan's, so that we don't piss off Tremere and so on and so forth.
Why don't you try one more roll?
Okay.
And we're going to keep it at difficulty 6 this time.
Difficulty 6. On the same combination of skills?
Yeah. Manipulation or charisma plus subterfuge.
Okay, target number 6, that's right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the 8 would go away, but you still have 7.
What do I put? Okay. So just
Are you able to?
Yeah, you're fine. You managed to. She's still sort of reluctant. Like she doesn't want to be out too late. But as long as you get to glow together soon, then sure, she'll go to Callahan's with you.
very
She just
nice.
doesn't want to be out too late. She's still a little reluctant.
Yeah, that was just reassuring her, saying, "Don't worry, you'll make it back in time. I know you got your priorities straight, but well, it's my last day here in Seattle, so can't pass up on this opportunity now, can you?"
No, you got to make it special.
What's not special about this?
All right. And Merle, you pretty much got Sheila already in the bag, willing to go.
Yep. Oh, let's head to the.
Notice that, of course, Eric and Walter have split. And Dion, of course, sent a text of his twist that he had earlier today, or this evening. Why don't we take a break for a moment, because I need a bio.
Yeah.
Yes.
And we're not going to be going too much later, but we can try to get a few more things done.
Nice.
Alrighty.
All right.
Yeah. I should not try to do.
Minutes.
Yeah, same.
To answer your previous question, Francis, that pickup line. That pickup line is what's not special.
Hey,
Yeah.
it was still
Tends
better,
to disappear, so.
it was still better than my work there. Like I said, you should not do seduction rolls while you're drinking.
I mean, Walter is or was an almost 40 married man. So Walter in a club trying to pick up girls is gonna be interesting.
Interesting.
Yeah, he was like married for a decade or so, I want to say. Let me check my bio. Um,
Bang.
yeah, it's been like 12 years since Walter's even thought about flirting, so.
Wow. He's still not young and in his prime like they was.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, who do we just lose?
Yeah, it looks like Francis.
Yeah,
Just for a second, he'll probably be back.
Hey, welcome back.
And he's back, yes.
Are we playing again?
No, you
Still
just
not yet.
dropped out of voice chat for a second, so we were
Yes.
celebrating your return.
Thank you so much. The cringy flirter is back.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't say cringy. You had such glowing recommendations.
Yeah. It's just cringy because it's inappropriate oftentimes, you know.
Oh my.
Fucking gypsies, right?
Well, I mean, that's what Veronica's thinking.
Yeah. Fun.
Sorry, couldn't resist.
No,
Yeah,
that's
no, it's good.
appropriate.
Yeah, I was reiterating TVQ's old joke of Walter being very popular with the ladies for reasons involving Serpentis.2.
Yes, the long tone. All right, everyone back, or are we still waiting on people?
I think Wentz is still out.
All right. You can be
Is it
patient.
okay if I take a personal break of about 10 minutes? I could still listen in, but I won't be able to participate.
No, I'm
Yeah.
back. I've been here.
Come with me.
All right,
Okay. Oh, thank you.
are we ready to get back into it then?
Certainly.
Pretty sure Merle was having some success. Wanted to move scene away from Theo.
All right. So you guys are going to go back into the van, take Sheila and Veronica with you.
Yep, that was the plan.
All right. Veronica is a little bit staying close to Theo. She doesn't. She looks at both Sheila and Merle like, why are they coming along? Kind of questioning, like, is this some kind of orgy thing you're planning?
Oh.
But she's not arguing about going.
Oh, no, nothing like that. Just show my little brother an out on the time before he has to head out.
All right. Sheila, for her part, is pretty chill. This seems cool. She shakes both Veronica and Theo's hands and greetings. She's interested in checking out Callahan, so this seems like an interesting evening for her so far.
But yeah, he'll go ahead and start up the van if there's no more arguments here. And he'll head off toward Callahan's pretty straight away.
All right. You guys weren't aren't going to really have any problems heading over to Callahan's. Eric and Walter.
Yes.
You are arriving basically on the tail end of most of Capitol Hill. It's like 1:40, and most of the bars normally close around 2. But there are Capitol Hill at this time of night still has some people starting to wander towards the Dick's Drive-In for burgers before they head home. There's a couple of homeless that are out as the nights are getting a little bit more chill. And of course, there's a number of drunk people wandering in different directions or ordering their cars or whatnot. The Club Q is on the main strip of Broadway. It is on the opposite corner of course, one of the other major clubs known as Neighbors. At this time of night, there's no line to get in. But as I said, you arrived, you found parking, and you've basically got 20 minutes before things officially close.
Cool. Would Eric have come separately or with?
I would just join you.
Cars Walter. All right. We'll pull up over by. You said it was Club Q.
Club Q.
Yeah. And stroll our way in. Walter's a little out of his element.
You're hearing some hip hop being played. It's Club Q is primarily. It's not necessarily exclusively gay club. It's sort of one of those clubs that a lot of the gays go to, but it's got straights there too. Who enjoy the dancing and the partying and the atmosphere. Because definitely Neighbors is more geared towards gays, and Club Q is a little bit more open. At this time, though, a number of people are already wandering out or making their final rounds, last call kind of drinks. But a few people are still on the dance floor. In one of the booths, though, you would notice not only is Gabriel Shear there, he seems to be presently sitting with Madeline Holt.
One of the Harpies.
No, Madeline is the other troubadours.
No, that's right. It's
He was the one
it's
at the
Isabel
door.
and Imogen. Yeah.
She was one of the ones that was at the entryway to the Space Needle. She was the one that was scanning people's auras and letting them get in.
Didn't she also organize the art show?
No, that actually was Cassandra the Primogen.
Ah. I remember Madeline as the art girl.
She owns or is a big contributor in one of the major art schools of Seattle, which I'm forgetting this name. It's in her description.
Where is she? It's not in my description.
Yeah, I'm forgetting off the top of my head. One of the major art schools in Seattle
super important.
Pretty much she owns it. Cornish School of the Arts is pretty much controlled by her.
All right. I will. I'll sort of point those two surreptitiously out to Eric. Make sure he knows they're there, and give him the rundown on basically how Club Q works. You can take what you want as long as you're not obnoxious or excessive about it. So Gabriel's pretty lax. Doesn't mind people hunting at his club, but it's a little late, so most of the normal sort of strategies won't work. Do you have any suggestions?
Well, the way I like to hunt would be wait around for a bit, but we don't have the time for that.
I agree.
Could.
That works. Walter, you know your sire has connections with a number of prostitutes.
Yes, I'm well aware of how Willie hunts. Oh my goodness. No, Walter has an idea. He's not sure if it would work for Eric, unfortunately. He's going to offer a drunk girl a ride home, basically.
Oh, okay. Pretend to be the Uber that showed up.
Could, or he could just be a perfect gentleman and ask them if they want a ride home.
All right. Trying to find a lone girl. You'll have easier luck maybe with a gentleman, but a lone drunk girl coming out of club
Poor guy. He's not picky.
All right. You'll be
Neither am I.
Then go ahead and do we'll do a wits plus streetwise. And I'm going to put it, since this is around closing time, we'll just put it at difficulty 6, but more successes, the better chance of who you find.
3 successes.
All right, so yeah, you managed to find this fairly drunk, not necessarily old guy, but definitely older, who seems to be on his own. Maybe his friends have abandoned him, or just maybe came to the bar on his own. But he is definitely not standing completely and not able to get his phone to get him an Uber, so he's starting to wander off, and you say, "Hey, buddy," kind of thing. I can help you out. How far do you live?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, I was just leaving myself. I saw you walking. You need a ride? How far do you got to go?
He points out towards, basically towards, sorry. He lives a couple miles from here, down near the Space Needle area.
It's a bit of a walk. Why don't I give you a ride?
It's a bit of a walk for him to get there.
Yeah, I assume I can easily get him to hitch a ride with me. And,
why don't you do one roll, though?
All right. Would it help if I tried to presence him first?
Sure, you can try that. Presence?
Yes. Aw. Charisma performance, difficulty 7.
Be careful, though, if you get too many successes.
Yeah. Charisma performance, difficulty 7. I don't think his problem is going to be having too many successes. I think it's going to be getting any success in general. Or not. 3 successes.
All right, so yeah, the guy suddenly smiling at Walter, very happy, and 2 other people. One of the homeless kids and his friend just sort of are also starting to walk your way towards Walter.
Is Eric nearby?
I
Yeah.
am.
No.
I'm right next to you, pretty much.
Yeah. Well, Walter will suggest they go back inside. It's not quite closing time yet. Why don't they have a quick drink and try and get into a back room, basically.
Okay. Well, the way the rack works, it does have a couple of cubby holes, and it's sort of set aside for that kind of thing. You're not really going to have to get any kind of resistance. The people are able. This guy Keith and these other two that seem to be really into Wade are fairly pliable. I just want to know, what blood pool are both of you at?
Walter's at 6.
All right.
I'm also at 6.
So 12, he's at half.
All right. What I would like from the two of you, both of you, making a self-control just to make sure you're not out of control with your feeding, because you are at a slightly lower blood pool. So I'm going to ask for you to do self-control rolls at difficulty 5.
Just self-control, right?
Just self-control.
All right. I'm going to have to roll that randomly.
Eric, you're still sort of new to this experience, but it seems to come natural.
Difficulty of
5.
Oh. That's not good.
What the? Jeez.
Oh, man.
All right, so Eric, you're starting. You got not one of the other ones that, not the original drunk guy Keith, but one of the other ones that came along that seems to be into Walter sort of turns to you, and you say, "Hey, she's busy with. You'll have your turn, but why don't we do, this?" And you manage to get close to them, and you bring out the fangs, and it comes natural to you to start feeding. So you control yourself and get the blood you want.
All right.
But then you're aware.
How does willpower work again?
But as you're starting to feed and take the blood that you want from this person and control yourself, you suddenly realize that Walter is ripping into Keith.
Uh-oh.
How does
Walter
willpower work
suddenly
again?
starting to feel frenzy and draining this person.
I would assume I would try to stop him? I'm actually not sure.
I was going to ask if I could spend willpower to. I forget how that works.
All right.
It does something with the roll.
Your first time. Normally, I ask that people, if they want to spend a willpower for automatic success, they ask to do the roll that before the roll's made.
For the roll, that's right.
That's my. And yes, you're in a terrible situation at the moment.
Nope, I'm going to roll with it where I'm in a terrible situation. I didn't ask before the roll.
All right, so yeah, you are presently in a blood frenzy. You need to drink until you get full effectively, or you can try to make self-control rolls again to stop yourself, but you need a total of 6 successes to do that. At difficulty 6.
Total of 6 with difficulty 6. Yeah, I'm gonna.
But the first round, you're taking 3 blood points.
Okay, so I go up 3 blood points. Yeah, focused mind won't unfortunately help much. But animalism could. Not at the moment.
Unfortunately, Eric is the
You're
only
really
one
far away.
that's got a
Yeah.
rational mind right now, and I don't think Eric knows what you can do.
Yeah.
Well, animalism is... How would animalism work? I'm just curious for myself.
I believe the third dot of animalism allows you to quell frenzy.
Oh.
and other
Yeah,
kindred.
I cannot do that right now anyway.
Oh, this is bad.
Could I attempt to try to stop him?
So you would recognize what's going on. You probably haven't frenzied yourself yet, but you've been given the spiel, and you already are slightly familiar with the fact that there is a beast within you, and every kindred has this. So you realize that he's right now. This mortal isn't necessarily resisting, but is probably going to be dead soon if he continues the way he's grabbing onto him. The other two mortals probably are going to be fucking jumping out of there shortly. So yes, you can try to grapple and break him off of that mortal.
That's what I'm gonna do.
All right. So I don't necessarily want to do the initiative. But let's just his focus is to drain the mortal. You are trying to get him off of him, so why don't we do an opposed strength plus brawl?
Difficulty 6.
6 for both of you.
Strength plus brawl.
Yes. Go, Walter. 2 10s.
Nice.
If this were V5, that'd be 4 successes instead of 2, but thank God it isn't.
Okay, yeah, I don't have anything for that. Oh,
All right. So you probably are struggling with one another. The mortal Keith is not really resisting at the moment, but is yelling a little bit. And with both of you tied like that, he's still got a hold of the mortal, but he can only take the 1 blood point this round.
Okay, so that's 4 blood points total off of Keith.
Yes.
Oh, poor bastard.
And do I still get to roll a self-control roll?
Yeah, you get another self-control roll. This time at difficulty 6.
One success.
All right, so you need 5 more. You are still
Yup.
wanting to drain him. The
Yup.
next,
You know what? I'm gonna do something instead.
sure.
I'm going to pull out a very useful syringe that I
Oh,
keep
boy,
in my
yes.
sleeve, and I'm going to stab him right in the neck.
Okay.
Yes! I get horse
That
tranquilized.
was a Dex plus melee.
What am I making?
Dex plus melee. In frenzy, I would say you're just trying. You probably aren't quite dodging. So why don't we just put it at difficulty 7 for the Dex plus melee?
Oh.
The best possible outcome.
All right, so yeah, with all the struggle and him trying to rip into Keith, you managed to actually do get the needle in. And go ahead, Walter. You're going to get 2 more blood points. But
Okay,
I also
that's
need a
6 total
stamina
off of
roll.
Keith. Oh, good. I'm so glad. Odd reason. Just straight stamina.
Just straight stamina, and that you don't have any fortitude, and this is basically a potent knockout drug. So go ahead and give me a stamina difficulty of 7.
0.
All right, so you are not unconscious quite, but you are definitely suddenly and drained completely. Like just energy just suddenly just shoots down as this drug hits into your system. Walter, you can do the self-control, and now you only need 3 successes to come out of this frenzy.
Yes, absolutely doing that.
All right, spending a willpower. Just mark that on the sheet.
One success. Unfortunately, I rolled. So I
All right,
didn't get
but you also got the willpower.
So I have
And
2
the one-
successes.
And you had the 1 success from before. So you're starting to come out of it. You're feeling very, very bad. And Keith is falling down on the ground. And even though you're starting to feel drowsy and completely out of it, you realize what kind of a monster you are. And I would like a conscience roll at difficulty of 5.
Conscience. Oof.
He's like, I don't have one.
He's been working on not having one.
All right, well, you're
2
fine
successes.
morally. You're not compromised by realizing that what the control you just lost, but you also would probably realize that Keith here probably needs a doctor or paramedic. And
But
of
there's
course,
more concern.
yeah, Eric, you think he's let go? He's let go of the person. The person has fallen down onto the ground. You realize he still has a wound on his neck.
Yep, I was gonna go and jump right into that and tell somebody to call a paramedic instantly.
Okay.
Did you just horse tranquilize me?
I'll talk later.
Where did you get horse tranquilizer again?
I'm a veterinarian. I have access to all lots of things.
Like, does tranquilizer even really work on vampires?
Yes.
But it does work, but not as well as it would on a real. And you, if you have a high enough stamina, you affect them hardly.
Yeah, the proper dosage for an adult male horse did not knock out Walter, so take that as you.
I think actually this might be a great point to close out the night. Sure. Why don't we actually come back to that next session? Because that'll give me time to find an actual symbol that you'll to put up a graphic or something. And we can do the rolls and research. Okay, we'll start working on that. Armored clothing and ritual.
To sort of clarify the scene, Keith, the older gentleman who I charmed, is in need of medical attention. Walter is horse tranquilized. The other 2 homeless people are kind of sitting there in shock.
I think that like in the second round they were running out.
At that point.
Oh, shit.
Wait, so you said the Masquerade might have actually been compromised?
They're
Really?
They're bums. Nobody's gonna pay attention to bums.
Shit, true.
Not really. I mean, you lost control in the rack. It's probably not the first time this has happened, but Gabriel and Madeline will probably be there momentarily.
Hey, look,
And peeved.
look. All you have to do is say that it was somebody high on PCP.
Walter will lick the wound because he is still practical.
Yes, very good idea. All right, so yeah, I think that's a good point to stop for the night. Good resolution. Congratulations, everyone. I know we got through our first combat, even if it was brief.
Was that also the first frenzy?
I think so, yeah.
And it wasn't me.
Yeah, I'm baffled.
First official frenzy.
I'm baffled it wasn't Merle.
Or me, for that matter.
But yes, that was good. I was very impressed. Even though we didn't get through the entire evening, I still enjoyed this game. So I'm going to give you guys again 3 XP once again.
Since I'm here, I'm just going to put 3 XP into Brawl right away.
Yeah, that's fair enough. If
It's new. It's a new skill.
Paz would take longer to learn.
I figured because I was in a Brawl and I had no skill in it, that if I could just spend the 3 to get it right away while I'm here.
Yeah, I would allow that. But learning a new path is going to take more time than learning a skill would be. It's going to take you a couple of days of research. Thaumaturgy takes time. It's not something as quick to learn.
What about something like Auspex?
Sorry?
What about something like Auspex?
Any discipline or path would take a few days to learn.
Okay.
Do you actually have that discipline? No, but who is just asking? Walter?
About Auspex?
Yeah.
No, I don't have that yet, but I'm trying to learn it from day on.
That would take at least a few days to learn.
Okay.
So any other questions before we end?
Yeah, a quick one. Will we finish the scene with Veronica and fucking Tammy Lynn in the next session, or is that just considered like done?
Well, there might be some wrap up for that scene.
Okay.
But for the because I may want self control rolls again. Just if anything else happens. But for now, we would just put a pin on what the two of you are up to. But there wasn't going to be any conflict for you guys getting back to Callahan's or anything.
Nice.
So thank you for listening to our amusing World of Darkness game, Vampire the Masquerade, Feast of Shadows. We will be playing again in 2 weeks' time.
Y'all take care.
No.